Hey family, how you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any negativity or hate, keep that shit on your side of the street, okay? It won't be acknowledged. So, sheesh, yeah, I'm tired. I am. It's a quarter to my bedtime. But I've been nudged to talk about this today with you. Sometimes the imagery spirit can give me when trying to get me to get into a topic can shake me up a little bit. It can shake me up a little bit, and then but I know it's always done in a manner to help me understand what it is that I'm going to be channeling or developing a perspective on, or maybe having to go within and reflect on certain areas and aspects within my own self. And the imagery I was given today, now understand that the spirit world isn't governed by the same rules, laws, precautions, and cushions that this 3D world makes us all so weak inside. And it doesn't come with all the filters. It doesn't come with all the filters and the precautionary measures taken to not have something land onto the minds of society in a very harsh way. Spirit is brutal, spirit is honest, spirit is truth as well, and spirit will get the message across as it is. Doesn't give a fuck about your emotions or your feelings when there's something you need to understand and grasp and face the truth over. In me just saying that, can you imagine how much of your world has actually been cushioned by the three-dimensional systems you exist in to make you as a human population soft and averse to absorbing truths and what is true as they are, without the filters, without the cushioning, without the background guidances before it hits your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Anyway, the imagery I got was a family of incest, right? In our Western world, we would call families who keep it in the family, we would label them as, sorry, there's the dogs going on outside. We would label them as people who engage in incest. That's the label we give them, right? That's how we judge them. And what Spirit was actually trying to get me to understand and to look at within myself was, you want to say that you want to say that you're someone who isn't judgmental and you're accepting of all. Yet, if you're faced with certain things that challenge your perception and what you've been groomed into believing is right and wrong within the construct of society that you've been made to exist in, that you're comfortable in, where you're comfortable, right? Because the society and the space and the world that you've created for yourself, or that you've decided you're comfortable in, has its borders. It has it has its borders, it has its thresholds. There are limitations, there are lines, unseen lines that you reach where you decide, okay, I'm gonna judge this now. This isn't right to me, and this is right to me, and that's wrong. And it's how we're groomed, right? But we also then fail to consider that we live in a big world. We live on a globe where there are all kinds of things that exist, all kinds of things that are normal. So many things that in your world, in your city, in your town, in your village, in your neighborhood, whatever you choose to label and call the society that you exist in. There are so many things that are normal, and that on the other side of the world somebody would call or label in their eyes as abnormal. And in the Western world, we've been groomed to see things such as keeping things in the family. Because, Spirit dealt with me. The word incest is not something a family on another part of the world who is normal in those kinds of actions, they wouldn't take kindly to being labeled and judged in that sort of way. But in our world, the Western world, it's labeled and judged as something that is wrong. So I've been made today to really think about, what does it mean to me when I say that I'm not a judgmental person, that I'm an accepting person? Would I be able to exist around a family without feeling any sort of discomfort around the choices they make that might seem a little bit outlandish to what it is that I'm used to? Would I find comfort being around a group of people, friends, who operate a little bit differently to what I'm used to, without casting some level of judgment or trying to find a word in the English language that can label them a specific way and categorize them and put them into the right or wrong bucket within my head and in my perspective that makes me feel internally comfortable. How far does your judgment go? At what point, where's your threshold? When do you start categorizing yourself as being judgmental against a friend, a family member, people who live a way that might be a bit different to what makes you comfortable, a specific race? Are your judgment borders very close to you, or do they extend far out? What do I mean when I say that? What I mean is, how far does your tolerance for the diversity in our world go? How far? What What is your threshold of allowance until you start feeling uncomfortable? And when you get to the point of feeling uncomfortable, are you quick to throw judgment, to label, to categorize? Or are you centered and grounded enough to recognize that you're about to cast judgment on a specific person or way of living among people in a world where free will is top priority? Everyone has their free will. Everyone has their reasons for doing things. Everyone has their reasons for existing a certain way. When I really thought about it and took the time to look within myself, I was, how to say, I don't want to say ashamed. I was a little disappointed because when Spirit threw the image of incest across my brain, my mind, and I took a moment to recognize what I was feeling, I wasn't feeling anything positive. Here I am still saying incest, and before that image, before that consideration I was made to engage in, I wouldn't have felt off about using the word incest. Now that I've taken the time to consider it, it's not something I feel so good about. If you go back and back and back into the times of history, family interbreeding, and it was all normal. It was all normal, and reasons for it were things like keeping the money in the family, keeping a family name strong and going, maintaining a specific bloodline, which, if you do a bit of research and move into the higher up areas of society and moving into the realms of above rich and past wealthy, keeping bloodlines together is still something that is normal. It's things that are supported. And look, I'm not here trying to encourage anything or sway anyone away from something. I'm just using the keeping it in the family thing as an example, because that's what was given to me as something to consider, right? So we move into the Western world of thinking and doing things and grooming people and moving people in a certain way, and things that in other parts of the world are completely normal, and judgment would never be cast upon a specific person, people, or situation. In our Western world that we exist in and that we stand by so strongly, we'll cast judgment on certain things and make it okay to speak against or categorize or find a way to judge a specific person, way of living, or thing, or group, and rationalize it as right because we are groomed that we need to find and have meaning in everything, not realizing that in doing that, we trigger other aspects within ourselves as human beings that bring cause for separation, that bring justification for separation, that suddenly put us into the space of I'm for it or I'm not for it. Duality, it's human, it's normal, and it's just another way they play. When I say they, I'm talking about they, the system. They play it. They play so many things about us that are completely normal and natural against us, and after they play it against us, we automatically use those things against each other. Because of our need to belong and feel like we are part of a group, part of a society, part of a people. So we judge because we don't want to be left out, but everything that is preached and groomed into us is creating a fear around being left out, so we judge. We hurt the next person with our words. We categorize them. And depending on how that category has been groomed into us, either negatively or positively, we don't even realize how we ostracize and how we make people around us and in our society feel left out. Why? They haven't done anything wrong. It's something to think about, right? It's really something to think about. That just speaks volumes to our own internal fears. Casting judgment on the next person because something has been placed into a realm of negativity, that we automatically speak about it from a perspective in a tone that puts out I do not associate. But it's so subconscious, not even realizing that even though it's subconscious, it affects the person that it's being expelled to negatively. So yeah, family, consider how far are your boundaries when it comes to your realm of casting judgment on people, things, ways of living. And is it fair? Are you being fair? Are you supporting live and let live by casting your judgment and thinking that maybe you're in a position because you have an opinion to cast a judgment upon a brotherin or sisterin on the outside of yourself? Or are you able to humble yourself enough inside to see people for who they are, allow them to operate in what they are, and then just stay in your lane and focus on yourself. Because the next person's path really has absolutely nothing to do with you. And in no shape or form, whether it's in their face or not in their face, does it require a judgment, because that is just a negative vibration that you're putting out to come back to you in the world. So let's try and be more conscious about how and where and who we place our judgments on, and how those judgments come back onto us, because whatever energy you put out there, knowingly or unknowingly, it is going to come back and bite you back in your ass at some point. And you're going to feel like a victim, not realizing you turned somebody into a victim at some point in your own journey. I hope the video resonates with you. I will probably expand on it at some point in the future. But like I said, I am tired, and I will wrap this video up with a card. Oh, what came out? Work your magic. Let's see what the book has to say about this, okay? Oh, and it's by Saint Germain. Saint Germain is also quite known for with his violet flame undoing and burning away old belief systems, old programmings and judgments that we cast on ourselves or that have been cast on us from others, that mold us in a certain way and make us operate in a specific way with others in society, how we judge ourselves. So I think it's nice that he came out for this talk. Let's see what it says. What are we doing? Work your magic. So, you have the power to resolve the situation you're inquiring about. This card signifies your untapped magical abilities, which you've used successfully in the past. Pull these abilities out of storage and use them to work your magic now. Your clear and focused intentions, positive expectations, prayers, decrees, and action steps all create the healings and manifestations you desire. Additional meanings to this card: decide clearly what you will and won't accept in this situation, as your clarity will bring immediate results. Have steady faith in a positive outcome. Study alchemy and manifestation principles. Oh, I'll read on a little bit as to, what Saint Germain is all about. Saint Germain isn't a Catholic saint, but a count from the French region called Saint Germain. He was known as the Wonder Man of as the Wonder Man of Europe during his lifetime in the early 1700s. Saint Germain was renowned for his magical abilities to give gems and fountain of youth, like elixirs, to his many friends. He was a virtuoso musician and linguist who was beloved by royalty and blue-collar workers alike. Saint Germain helps light workers who wish to work toward world peace and bring about integrity and honesty in governmental and other systems. That's nice. Anyway, I know it's been a bit of a longer video. I hope it's made you think a little bit, and if you've resonated with it, please do like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so on your way in. Do so on your way out, and I wish you guys a good rest of the day, Bye. See you in the next video.